Today I am going over a brand new poll that just came out by New York Times and Sienna College that shows in a presidential race of Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, the former president, has 48% of the vote. The current vice president, Kamala Harris, has 47% of the vote. This is a Trump +1 margin. So why is this a big deal? What's so important about this? It's a 1-point lead for Trump. Why does this matter? Well, I'm just going to take you a little quickly down memory lane and show you why this matters so much. Back to 2020, where it's Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. In the Real Clear Politics polling average, Joe Biden led Donald Trump by about 7.2% in the polls. He averaged 4.5% on election night nationally. 4.5%. Okay, so now let's go back to 2016, the election that was very close where Donald Trump narrowly defeated Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton got 2.1%, a national lead over Trump. You might be seeing what I'm getting at here. In this poll where Donald Trump is up by 1%, why does this matter? Because if Donald Trump is leading nationally, leading Kamala Harris by 1 percentage point, that means that there's almost a 99% chance Donald Trump in the Electoral College is winning the presidential election. Just because there's more Democrats, registered Democrats in the country than Republicans, and it's typically expected that if Donald Trump wins this election, Kamala Harris will still win the popular vote, and Donald Trump will eke out a victory in the Electoral College. In this situation, 48% for Trump, 47% for Harris, this is saying Trump is +1 nationally. National vote. If this is the case, Donald Trump is absolutely winning the election. But of course, does this mean, is this poll the end all be all? No. But the New York Times, despite being a publication that typically leans to the left, to the Democratic side, when it comes to polls, historically are actually pretty reliable. They are a pretty solid polling source. I believe 538's rating of them, which I don't use too often, but 538's rating does have the New York Times Sienna College at an A for its rating. So the New York Times is certainly a reputable polling source. And the fact that it has as a 1-point race right now is significant. The fact that it's a 1-point race and Trump is ahead definitely, I think, says something very important. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit as well just to show you some of the importances of this poll that they did. One is that the margin of Trump, 48-47. The polling average at the time had it 49-47 in favor of Harris. I'll be doing an updated one as well in 1 second. I just want to show you some of the important issues down here. Here we go. And who do you trust when it comes to certain policy issues? When it comes to abortion, Harris is 54, Trump is 39. Democracy, Harris at 50, Trump at 45. This is interesting. I actually thought Harris to have a bigger lead here than she does. The economy is 55-42 in favor of Trump. Immigration is at 53-43 in favor of Trump. Those are just some things I want to take away really quick and show you. The poll sampling has a margin of error of 2.8 percentage points, and it has a sample size of 1,695 registered voters from September 3rd to September 6th. So why is this such a big deal? Well, now let's just go really quick to the national average of Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. Right now, this poll is one of the only polls in the last maybe few weeks or so that has Donald Trump actually leading Kamala Harris. One is Rasmussen, which, no disrespect to Rasmussen, but it has the connotation of being a more Republican-friendly poll, so a lot of people are quick to dismiss it. Whether that's fair or not, just something that's worth pointing out. Harvard-Harris just came out with a poll today as well that has a tied race, and now the New York Times Sienna came out with a poll that has Trump up 1. And now Kamala Harris leads in the polling average by 1.2 percentage points, which, if you can see, Kamala Harris, her support, it's actually not gone down too much. The highest she's peaked is 48.5. She's now back to 48.4. That's not really too concerning. The concern for Harris is as she was going up, Trump's support was by a few percentage, like tenths of percentage points, was going down. Now Trump has had a point where he's kind of plateaued and is now starting to skyrocket back up in the polls. It's not like a massive jump, but it's 46.2 to 47.2. That is a 1% jump. It may not seem massive, but that actually could be very massive. Because if right now the national vote on election day ends up being Harris plus 1.2, I would bet it all that Donald Trump is winning this election. There's just not enough Democratic votes in the swing states when the national vote is 1.2 to make up for how Trump will perform in the swing states. So if this New York Times poll is accurate and that Trump is actually up 1 point nationally, this election is much more of a potential Donald Trump victory and blowout than we even think right now. And so I'll just show you what I mean, just to back up what I'm saying. Let's just say the electorate right now is Trump +1 nationally. What would a Trump +1 national election look like? Well, for one thing, Trump is winning Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. That's what +1 for Trump leads to, where Trump would basically sweep every single swing state at very least. And then there's a potential for Trump to make states like New Hampshire maybe a little bit closer, as well as Virginia, as well as Minnesota perhaps, and maybe a state like New Mexico gets a little closer. That's reaching it a little bit at that point, but if Trump is +1 nationally, at very least, this is looking more like a Donald Trump potential landslide than a Donald Trump loss. So for Democrats' sakes, Democrats certainly would probably rather hope that this poll, the New York Times poll, is incorrect and that Trump is not up +1, because if Trump is +1, I think Trump starts out with 312 electoral votes. If Kamala Harris is up 2 right now, up 1, or in the polling average, Kamala Harris is up 1.2, what is the map looking like? That gets a little bit more tricky. I think Trump is still favored in Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. If the map is 1.2 to 2, I think there's a good chance Michigan could still be going blue for Harris. There's certainly a chance Nevada could be going blue for Harris. And then you can make an argument for Wisconsin and Arizona potentially still being probably pure toss-up. Either one of them could be going for Trump or Harris at this time. But really right now, the fact this race is getting closer, but this poll that just came out showing a 1-point race where New York Times has Trump up now is certainly very good welcome news for Donald Trump and something he's going to feel very good about going into the debate right before September 10th. That'll do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like, click subscribe, share with your friends and family. Stay tuned because I'll be posting a video now until Election Day every single day, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you in a future video.